Alright, so this is probably the last one of these camera bag videos that's going to happen for a while, simply because I pretty much have my kit set up how I want it. I pretty much have every lens, you know, that I've been after, or, you know, that covers a specific millimeter range, and yeah. I'm not really looking to acquire more gear now that I have what I have now. Going over the back of this bag, the only thing that's in here now is the rain jacket for the bag, again. I had a tablet in here, I never used it still. It's now over at the training club as a Wi-Fi throttle, because I can control up to 6 at once over there. Everything that's in the back here is still pretty much the same as we had gone over before. I would also like to say that, you know, you're not going to see the nicest gear ever when it comes to my collection. Number one, I am a collector as well, not just a hobbyist photographer, right? I like collecting things. I like collecting lenses and cameras. That's why there's so much stuff that you're about to see here. In here is simple stuff. We have an extra charger here, SD card, compact flash card reader, an extra strap in here, and some cleaning stuff, some caps, other random stuff. Down here is pretty much just cords and some sensor cleaning stuff, etc. All that, again, is pretty much the same here. I am trying to go a little bit faster because there's a lot of stuff good to go over, so yeah. I also have filters in the pockets here. They aren't any crazy filters or anything like that. Some color filters, some UV filters, etc. Let's go ahead and get into the main part of the bag itself. In here, we will go ahead and start with, let's just go with the bodies, and we will go over each body and why I chose that body, as well as, you know, what cards are in there, etc., etc. We will start off with old reliable here. These cameras are switched. There we go. Starting off with old reliable here with the purple and white strap, my Canon 5D Mark III. Love this camera, love what it can do. This was the first full frame that I got. It's still putting in work for me. I love the images that come out of this. It's a great camera. The cards that I have in here is a 64GB compact flash and a 128GB SD card. 22 megapixels full frame. Love this camera. Very, very nice camera. I went with the Canon single digit D series partially because it all takes LPE6. So it all takes the same battery, right? Another part of that, honestly, is I just really love the form factor, how the camera feels, how it handles, the fact that they all have battery grips that are roughly the same size, etc. This is my Canon 7D Mark II. You guys have seen an unboxing video of this one on the channel. I got this one for $100. It shipped from Hawaii in unknown, untested condition, and I got it, and it almost just worked. It took a second to start up, but it just worked. Love this thing. 10 FPS picture shooting, 64GB compact flash, 128GB SD card. I have the camo or strap on this one. I do wrist straps because I cannot stand neck straps for a few reasons. At some point I might try, you know, a better neck strap, but for now I really like the wrist straps. And I also have them on this side instead of the other side because for me it's easier to be, you know, to have this around my wrists and then be controlling the zoom on the lens, etc. They're just not long enough to go around here and for me to be comfortable, you know, with that. So that's why the wrist straps are on the side that they are. This one, I love this camera. This is the Canon 5DS, 50 megapixels. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. I love the quality of an image that this camera can take. Because the file sizes on this camera are a lot bigger, we have a 128 gigabyte compact flash and then a 128 gigabyte SD card. And yeah, I love all three of these cameras. This one is just a great general purpose all-around camera. This one is fantastic for fast shooting trains, wildlife, etc. This one is also great for wildlife and trains if you're looking for a higher resolution picture versus a faster shooting camera. And then of course this is good for just everyday or secondary or whatever, right? You know, if I just need decently fast shooting general purpose, fast shooting APS-C, or high resolution full frame, I have it. I love this trio. This is a fantastic trio. Let's go ahead and get into the lenses here. The first lens I will start with is this old guy here. This is my main lens for just general picture taking. It's not image stabilized or anything like that, but for its age, it does really well. You can get these for about 150 bucks, around that range. I think I got this one for 120 with the lens hood. It's older, slower autofocusing, but honestly for me, it does perfectly fine. There is the slightest amount of blue color fringing, and that's about it. It's f2.8 through the entire 28 to 75 millimeter zoom. This is just an older version of the modern Tamron 28 to 75 millimeter, you know? There's some different coatings, it's slightly different glass formula for the newer stuff, but other than that, it's very close to this. Obviously it's not exactly the same, but this is, you know, where those lenses originated from. And just for a standard zoom lens, I love it. I can't complain, especially for the price. And again, I'm not looking to get the best quality images possible. I'm just looking to be prepared for whatever comes my way. Here we have a standard Canon Nifty 50 50mm f1.8. Everyone should have one of these if you have a full frame camera. Got two more LPE6s down there. Love this lens. This lens is fantastic. This is a Tamron 70 to 300 millimeter full frame, f4 to 5.6. It has vibration compensation on it, you know, autofocus, all that. Love this lens. I've done some really neat things with this lens, taken some awesome photos. I love this lens. This is a fantastic zoom lens, way better than my old Sigma. This is the most I have ever spent on a lens, and I have zero regrets whatsoever. This lens is awesome. It is fantastic. Really good for birds, trains, whatever. I love that lens. This is my APS-C Super Zoom. This is a Tamron. If I can get this on here, there we go. This is a Tamron 18 to 270 millimeter Super Zoom. I love this. If I take this, I put this on the 7D Mark II, and I just run this combination if all I can carry is a lens and a camera. It does have some pretty aggressive blue color fringing, chromatic aberration, whatever you want to call it. But if you're just looking at it on social media, you don't really notice it. If you don't zoom into the photo, you don't really notice it. It's just it's a decent lens for everyday use. If you just need a big zoom range like that. For a super zoom, I like it. I do like it. It has its moments where it is the best lens for a situation. I've done some neat things with that lens as well. This lens has been with me for 10 years, probably. Love this lens. Then in here, we have an old guy here. a Canon 20 to 35 millimeter. I only had about 115 bucks at the time, and I needed something with a wider zoom range, or not a wider zoom range, but wider millimeter, because this guy is 28, this guy's down to 20. And honestly, for the 111 bucks that I paid for it, I believe, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's fairly sharp in the middle. The corners and sides have some green and purple chromatic aberration going on, but it's not horrible, again, if you don't zoom in or anything like that. And again, if you're on social media, people aren't going to notice. They're going to see a nice photo, they're going to like it, or, you know, go, oh, okay, and then keep on scrolling. You know, I'm not worried about a little bit of chromatic aberration. I'm just not. This was a cheap wide angle lens that I could easily obtain. It has a USM autofocus system in it. I'm perfectly happy with it. I don't care what anyone else says. In here we have my old microphone. I forget what model it is exactly. It's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Runs off AAA's. Got even more LPE6s in here. USB A to C. Charging brick for all the cords over here for whatever may need charged. Just some emergency SD cards. It's really nothing fancy. And then some coins in there for changing around hot shoe, or not hot shoes, but tripod plates, tripod shoes, whatever you want to call those. So that stuff is in there. If I can remember how that goes. Good enough. And yeah, this is it for the main picture bag. I have a picture bag, a video bag, and a support bag. You'll see the support bag here in a minute. We are going over pretty much everything I have in this video. So this is picture bag. This is the kit for when I'm taking pictures. I love this bag. I love what's in this bag. I love everything about this bag. I am finally to the point in which I am happy with my camera bags. And I am so excited to not be wishing for anything else, really. If I do get another lens, it's going to be a lens to upgrade the one that I already have. So, that being said, get this one out of the way, move on to the next one. And here we have the video bag. And I have this set up kind of camcorder style, you know, where you just kind of open up the bag, take it out, and do your thing. We have the main camera in here. In here, we have extra tripod plate for my main tripod. Got some extra cords and stuff in here. Got the hot shoe protector for when the handle isn't on it. We have a 128 and 64 gigabyte SD card. You know, just in case we need to use another SD card, we can. Then got a cleaning cloth here. In this front pouch, I believe it is just extra caps, sensor cleaning, etc. Okay. Down here in this pocket, we have charger for the KNF batteries, windsock, manual, and then the stock Canon battery and charger. I take off the microphone and I tuck the microphone itself between the area for the camera and the handle. Just carefully take that on out. This is a Comica VM20. Fairly decent mic, you know, comes with the dampening mount and all that. USB-C rechargeable. No complaints about that mic for the price. Here is the camera itself, and then in here you also have the cable for the audio to go between the camera and the mic. Then we have 2 extra KNF batteries in there. Going with the camera, I will go ahead and put this on. This is what it looks like. We have a small rig handle on here so that I can, you know, carry it around and such handhold it if I need to. It also just gets the mic a little bit further away from the lens, not a lot. That was partially for the other main lens that I use on here. But right now, what I have on it actually is a Canon EFS 18 to 135 millimeter STM IS. And the reason I have that is because it is image stabilized, as well as the fact that it has silent autofocus, which is something I have really been missing out on with the other lens that I mainly use on this camera, my Tamron 17 to 50 millimeter f2.8. This is not f2.8. As we can see here, it is 3.5 to 5.6, but you know, it has silent autofocus. It has more zoom to it. There's a little bit, just a little bit of chromatic aberration, but it's not horrible. And yeah, this is just a solid everyday lens to run on this Canon R50V. I went with the Canon R50V simply because it can record 4K 60 and 4K 30. 4K 60 is cropped in a little bit. The 4K 30 is the full APS-C sensor oversampled from 6K. And it can also do 100 or 1080p at 120 FPS if you want to go with some slow-mo shots. Love this camera. Love this camera. And then we also have a 256 gigabyte ProMaster SD card. Like this, right? Yeah. Very happy with this camera. Super happy with this camera. The vari-angle screen. Yeah. And the silent autofocus. I love it. It is awesome. It is great. And now we will tear this back down. Put that back on. And we will move on to the next camera bag. Alrighty. This is what is now known as the support bag. The support bag holds just some extra stuff here in that pouch, but the main thing that it holds up top here is extra lenses. I'll get into these in a second. First, let's get into this. This one, I believe, is the battery grip slash vertical grip, right? Okay, like so. It is the battery grip for the 7D Mark II. And then both of these battery grips, this one is a first party Canon, this one is a third party, don't know what the brand is. And you know, these guys here, both of these fit on the 5D Mark III and 5DS. They take the same BGE11 or whatever it is. And so I had originally gotten a third-party one because it was cheap, and I got the 5DS, so I went ahead and picked up a first-party Canon one as well. So now if I just need to use one, I'll just put this on whichever, or if I need to use both for whatever reason, then I have both, and one of them is the third party. Perfectly fine with that. In here, we have two more LPE6 batteries, as well as a extra charger in there. Down in here, we have two lenses. This is a 24mm APS-C pancake lens. I have f2.8. I have this lens mostly for recording and taking pictures of model trains. Because the glass element is so much smaller, it's so much easier to get a better scaled photo. It's so much easier to get, you know, closer to the trains, etc., etc. Just looks so much more real because the element is so much smaller. It really helps you get in there between buildings and a bunch of other stuff. Just helps with the angles when you're taking pictures and video of stuff that small. In here, because I have the room for it, we also have one of my vintage lenses here. This is a Nikon Rocker f 3.5 28 millimeter, and rocker, record, whatever you want to call it. Very nice build quality, looks great. If I'm feeling like I want to do manual focus and aperture on, you know, something, then I will use this one. I also put the 28 millimeter in this bag simply because it looks great on both full frame and APS-C. And so these two live down there. There we go. And now we can get into these guys up here. Let's start with the possibly the most disappointing one. And again, I don't care. This is my Canon 28 to 135 millimeter f 3.5 to 5.6. I like this lens. I really do. You can get these for anywhere between 90 to like $125, and honestly, I love these lenses. This was the first lens I got for my Canon 5D specifically, and I don't regret it. It's 28 to 135 millimeters, so you have a bunch of zoom range to work with. It is image stabilized, right? Okay. This is, I think anything with this kind of zoom range is considered a super zoom. For a super zoom, that cheap, image stabilized, I love it. It's great. It's a really neat lens, and I still use it. If I need something wider than my 28 to 75, I will put this on the camera and have a blast with it. 28 to 135 millimeters. That's a wonderful zoom range to work with. The chromatic aberration is not that bad. It's fairly sharp in the middle. The chromatic aberration in the middle is basically non-existent. I like this lens. I'm very happy to own it, and I still use it from time to time simply because of that zoom range. If I need, you know, to carry a single full frame and a single lens on that full frame and just carry that around, I'll do this combination because it looks decent and there's a lot of zoom range. Yeah. Next lens in here is my 10 to 20 millimeter APS-C Sigma. This is as close as you can get millimeter wise without having any crazy fisheye effect. And yeah, I got this lens early on in my collection, and I've liked what it can do. Fairly happy with that lens. And then in here we have my beloved APS-C Tamron SP 17 to 50 millimeter f2.8 through the entire zoom. This is one of my main video lenses, and honestly, this is also one of my main video lenses. Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than it looks great. The autofocus is a little bit loud. It also has the vibration compensation on it. The autofocus is a little bit loud, but that's why I went ahead and grabbed the other lens, because, you know, if I'm in a quiet environment, I need something that can autofocus quietly, so that's where that other lens comes in. If I need a video lens for, you know, low light situations, this is the one. I love this lens. This is a great lens, and yeah. Again, I'm overall just happy with where my camera kit is at. So yeah, let's move on to the oddball stuff. Alright, let's start with the more boring one. Lights. And 3D printed extension tubes. So yeah, we got the extension tubes, we got this big light here. the charger for the big light. We got 2 more smaller lights, some rig thing going on here, handle, which is also kind of a tripod mount, and then my original Olympus camera. Yeah, this is pretty much just lights and other oddball stuff. It all fits very nicely in this basket. Fairly happy with that situation. And here, this is where the other 2 vintage lenses that I own are. Here we have a f3.5 to a f22 zoom 70 to 35 millimeter. And then there's, you know, your focusing ring. It is a plastic construction, but it is still a Minolta zoom lens here, 35 to 70 millimeters, f3.5 to 4.8, and yeah, it can produce some pretty solid images. And then here we have MC Rocore PF Minolta f2.8 135 millimeter, and this is a fun lens. Yeah, like this lens pretty decently as well. I don't use these 2 that much, but every once in a while it's just fun to play around with the vintage lenses, and at some point I might get something like an f1.4 or f1.2 or something like that, just for that bokeh, you know. And then of course some of you are very familiar with this project. Get that out of here. This is my VL CL8 to 120 millimeter f1.4 to 2.1 RF edition. I still have this thing, and I use it every once in a while. You know, technically it is a Canon L series lens. This thing is just hilarious. If you haven't seen much about this lens, go check it out on my YouTube channel. It's not that many videos behind this one. This was a fun project to do. This was a very fun project to do, and it's still a fun lens to mess around with. This thing, you know, this is just like a rubber lens hood for it. It just goes around like so. Then you can either, you know, have it like this, put it in a notch, have it all the way sheathed at the back. You know, it's just, it's a funny lens. It's a fun lens. This was a fun project. It was a fun project. That's about it for this video, honestly. You know, some people try to say, you know, my choices in my collection is not all that great, and honestly in some cases they're right, but no matter what situation I come across, in some fashion or another, I'm going to have a camera and lens combination that I can use, that I will very much be satisfied with as I struggle to put this rear cap on. And honestly, the bulk of it just stems from the fact that I don't do it professionally. This is a hobby for me, and this hobby supports multiple other hobbies that I have. I'm not looking to get the latest and greatest tech with the most sharpest images with zero chromatic aberration ever. I just want to take pictures and videos and shoot trains and model trains and birds and train shows and all kinds of other stuff that a hobby like this can support the other hobbies with. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have a cheap lens and a cheap camera, it's better than no camera at all. You know, no matter what situation I'm going to run into, I'm going to have the equipment for it. Is it going to look the best that it possibly could? No, but I have the equipment to do so. If I need to go with a wide angle shot on a full frame, I can. Or if I need to use an APS-C and the 70-300 to get a shot, I can do that too. The reality is, no matter what community you are in, there's always going to be a group of people trying to talk you down, no matter what kind of equipment you have. The best thing you can do is do what you think is the best choice with the money that you have available to spend. Just have fun. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have a nice comment or medium comment to leave in the comment section below, feel free to do so. If you have a mean comment, don't waste the finger taps, because I'm not going to care. I love the cameras that I have. I love the lenses that I have. I love the pictures that I'm able to take with them. I'm having fun with photography and videography. When it comes to my realization with this is just to have fun with it and such. Evan Monsma, honestly, is one of the creators that I was watching and just kind of had the realization of, I'm having fun with what I'm doing. Why do other people's opinions matter so much to me? And since then, everything has just kind of, it hasn't been as big. You know, it hasn't felt as daunting or whatever to impress people with what I have. I don't need to impress people with what I have. I'm making these videos simply because I want to. And if somebody wants to watch them and see what I have, or, you know, see where my mindset is, so that they can be like, you know, I'm not really feeling the same as this guy, but I kind of get what he's saying, then that's fine as well. So be it. I don't care. Just have fun with whatever hobby you are doing, be it photography or videography or model trains or RC cars or whatever. Just have fun. That is it for this video. We will see you in the next one. Have a fantastic rest of your day. If you feel like I deserve it, like and subscribe if you want to. Have a fantastic day, everyone.